Hey guys, Jim here. Really appreciate you stopping by. Today I want to share with you guys a bunch of Japanese cards I've added to the collection and also a Caramelo Deportivo Cuban card that made its way back to my collection. And so I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to get started with the Caramelo Deportivo 1946-47. That's Lloyd Davenport, card number 69 in the set. And I say it found its way back to me because originally I bought this card at the National, and I bought it at the end of the day on Saturday. I was with my friends Andy and Greg, D's Collection and Tiger 727, and literally at closing time of Saturday's National, I bought this. And Greg was actually looking at a different card. He was trying to work a deal with the guy, and while he was doing that, Andy and I were looking at the guy's other stuff, and Andy ended up picking up a card off the guy while we were waiting. And I saw these Caramelo Deportivos and immediately recognized Lloyd Davenport. So I ended up buying this one. But then, like I said, the show literally was closing. And Greg ended up buying the card. He was working on a deal too. So all three of us ended up buying a card off this dealer. But then we walked out and it was trade night. And so probably like a half hour after I bought this card, I walked into trade night and I saw a guy who had a bunch of cards set up. And one of the cards he had was a card that I had been wanting to add to my collection for quite a while. And it was this card right here. Ichiro Suzuki, his Japanese rookie card, 1993 BBM. And so you guys know I'm a big Ichiro fan, and I wanted this card for quite a while. And I saw it there at trade night, and you know, it was Saturday. I had been at the National for 4 days already, spent a bunch of money, and I was still going to be there on Sunday. So I didn't want to buy this card outright because, you know, I didn't want to have to walk around Sunday and not have any money in my pocket. So I ended up working out a deal with the guy who had this. I traded him this and some cash, and I ended up walking out with this. And I was really thrilled, and still am thrilled, to have this Ichiro card. But as time went on, and the reason why I don't sell cards or get rid of cards is because I end up with regret over it. And so as time went on, I kept thinking about this card, and you know, Lloyd Davenport and 46, 47 Caramelo Deportivos are so hard to come by. For some reason, they're much tougher to come by than the 45, 46 Caramelo Deportivo set. And, you know, I was thinking about this card, and I realized that there's only 17 of them graded between both SGC and PSA. So I started thinking I'm not ever going to be able to get that card back in my collection again. So, you know, I was, you know, coming to terms with that. And then I was on eBay, and lo and behold, this card showed up on eBay. And that was my card. And the guy I traded it to put it up for sale on eBay. So I immediately went out searching to try and find a contact information for this gentleman, and I did. I found him on Facebook, and I messaged him, and I asked him if he would sell it off of eBay, and he said he would. And so I made him an offer. I offered him the original price that I paid for this card at the National, and he accepted it, that was less than what he was asking for it on eBay. And he accepted it, and he sent it to me, and here it is. So happy to have it in my collection. And Lloyd Davenport was a really good player. Most of you guys don't know him because he didn't play in the major leagues, because he couldn't play in the major leagues because he was black. And he's actually, he is American. He was born in Louisiana, I believe. But he played 10 years in the Negro Leagues. He was a 5-time Negro League All-Star, batted over 305 times in the Negro Leagues. And he also, in addition to playing 10 years in the Negro Leagues, he also played 6 years in the Mexican Leagues. So obviously he played winter ball in Cuba, which is how he ended up in this set. And he is in the 45-46 Caramelo Deportivo set as well. But, you know, the more I learn about these Negro League guys, and it really makes me like these Caramelo Deportivo sets that much more, because You know, in this set, the color line that segregated baseball in the United States is blurred. You've got Latin American players, Negro League players, and Major League Baseball players. They all appear in the set just as they did while playing alongside each other on the field in the Cuban Winter League. And that vision of the game of baseball wasn't possible in the United States until 1947 when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. But in the Caramelo Deportivo set, that reflected the realities of baseball in Cuba and elsewhere in Latin America, where players of different sides of the color line could play together. So I think that's really cool. And if it wasn't for a set like this, some of these great Negro League players that never played in the major leagues wouldn't have any cards at all. So really, really happy to have that one back in the collection. Next up, I'm going to jump into the Japanese pickups. Our friend Robert, Prestige Collectibles, is over on Whatnot now. If you are at all interested in Japanese baseball cards, buying or learning about them, go over to Whatnot and find Prestige Baseball BB, all in lowercase letters. Robert is having like at least 2 or 3 sales a week. And he doesn't just put cards up and sell them. He talks about them, and you can, even if you're not interested in buying, you can learn about different cards, different sets, different players. It's great. Plus, you can get some really good deals on some of these Japanese cards as well. You know, Robert, he literally is an expert on Japanese baseball cards, and you can just learn a wealth of information from him. So go check it out. But he was having his first sale, and I definitely wanted to show him some support. So I jumped on, and I ended up buying 3 cards off him on that first sale. And here they are. This is from the 1964 Morinaga Top Star Gum set. And it's one of my guys, Shigeo Nagashima. And just a great photo there of Nagashima. Of course, it's a posed photo, but still really, really nice photo. One of my guys, Nagashima, was such a great player. I did a little spotlight on him not several months ago when he passed away. But this is what the back looks like on this one. And that one will bookend very nicely with the Katsuya Nomura from the same set. And if you're like me and you like catcher cards, this is a great card to check out. Of course, these are oversized, but still just a great looking photo. Look at that, man. Nomura was a great player too. He had like 657 career home runs, over 2,900 hits, and almost 2,000 runs batted in. So offensive numbers like that as a catcher is pretty impressive. And he was also a 5-time Pacific League MVP, and he won the Best 9 award 19 times. So if you're not familiar with what the Best 9 award is, it's in Japanese baseball. The journalists, a pool of journalists, vote on the best player for each position each year. So every year, the best player as voted on by the journalists at each position wins the Best 9 award. And so Nomura won it 19 times. Is just incredible. So there's that. That's the Nomura. And I was very happy to bookend the Nagashima with that one, thanks to Robert's Whatnot sale. And so again, Whatnot sale from Robert, same sale, ended up picking up this card. This is a great looking card, man. Cool. I love the green. I love the purple background, the image. He's reaching for a line drive probably. This is a 1959 JGA 5 Doyusha game card, and the player is Yoshio Yoshida. So Yoshida is a new addition for me as a player. I haven't had any cards from him previously, so he is a Hall of Famer. And JGA 5 game card. So that's a game card. I talked about it before in the Japanese catalog. JGA stands for Japanese game card. So it's like a card game. You can see the back is like a playing card. And so there's that. Really cool. And same sale. Picked up another Yoshida. And this one is a 1962 Menko card. Great image there as well. Of course, Menko was a game also, but it's not really a game card. Menko itself was a game, and these cards were designed to play the game of Menko. And the way that was played is a player would lay his cards flat, like on a hard surface, like a wooden floor or concrete, and the other player would take his card and slam it down on the other player's card, and if he flipped it over, he would keep both cards, and if he didn't, he wouldn't. He would lose his card, or he would leave it there. I'm not really exactly 100% sure on that, but that's basically how Menko was played, and the backs of these Menko cards are always very nice as well, so that's pretty cool. So 2 Yoshidas in the collection, and like I was saying, Yoshio Yoshida was a Japanese baseball player and manager, and he spent his entire career with the Hanshin Tigers, and he was famous for his steady bat and stellar defense at shortstop. He received the Best 9 award 9 times, and his number 23 was retired by the Tigers, and he was elected into the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame in 1992. So there's Yoshida. So next up, stacking Sadaharu O cards. And I got a bunch of Calbys I picked up. I'm going to just run through them quick. You guys know who Sadaharu O is. Here is the 1977 Calby. Sadaharu O at first base. Great looking card. Love the colors on that. Here's what the backs of those 77 Calby Pros look like. There's that one. Another card from the same set. Love that. Look, he got a nice smile on his face. He must have got a nice hit on that one. Something. I don't know. He's smiling. Number 1 jersey. Really cool there. And again, from the same set, Sadaharu O. Again, you see the back. Here we have 1975-76 Calby. Look at that, man. You can tell he had some serious bat speed going there. His hand is basically blurred. Eyes closed almost. Swinging with all his might. There's the back of the 75-76. These cards are famous for having very light printing on the backs of them. Here we go with another O. Like I said, stacking O's. I'm buying every reasonably priced Sadaharu O card I can find at this point. 75-76 Calby. Just a nice organic shot there. There's the back of that. Now I've got another 75-76 Calby at the plate. Printing's a little darker on that one. And another 75-76. Another great image. Oops. There's that. Sticking with the 75-76 set. Playing the field. First base. Great photo. Last but not least, from the very first Calby set, 73-74 Calby. Looks like maybe he just hit a home run. He's being congratulated at the plate as he runs by. This is a really cool card. There's a lot going on here. So there's O. He apparently just crossed home plate. He's being congratulated by this guy. And then we've got this guy here, number 7. He looks like he's getting ready to go to the plate and hit. And of course the catcher is just standing there. You can see we got a packed house in the crowd there. Really cool card. That's a really sweet card. And the back of that one's really nice too. There's that. Actually, that's upside down. Sorry about that. No, I had it right the first time, I think. There's that. that's the way it goes. All right, anyway, whatever. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thanks a lot for watching. Always appreciate the comments and support. Talk to you all soon. Bye for now.